for Uddhav Thackeray.
Okay, Rajpunj, tomorrow Uddhav Thackeray has called a meeting of Zilla Pramukhs. Similar meetings have been called to really make an assessment if the cadre is with him. We have seen how Shiv Senics have responded on multiple occasions in the past on issues which has not been something that is palatable to them. They have taken to the streets and have protested. My question is, where are those Shiv Senics when Uddhav Thackeray had to move out of Varsha and the entire party has moved to Eknath Shinde? You'll have to unmute yourself.
Mara,
Yes.
it's difficult to say right now because everyone has their own assumption, and there are so many things. Some people are saying there's a portfolio discussion over there. Some people are saying there's a little bit of misunderstanding. The right now the position is this कि इनके बीच में जो मन मुटाव है, जो इनके बीच में जो इश्यूज हैं, उनको घर की बात है और डेफिनेटली घर में ही सॉल्व होगी और इनको इसलिए कहा जा रहा है कि आप वापस आइए.
लेकिन राजपुंज जी, घर की बात अब कैसे रही अगर आप 12 एमएलए को डिस्क्वालीफाई करने के लिए पिटीशन कर रहे हैं डेप्यूटी स्पीकर को, तो आपने तो साफ तौर पे कह दिया उनसे कोई रिश्ता अब नहीं है.
नहीं, मायरा जी देखिए, अभी भी पक्ष प्रमुख और शिवसेना की जो बागडोर है वो माननीय उद्धव ठाकरे साहब के पास है और अभी भी तो ये तो है नहीं कि जो इसमें कुछ ऐसा हुआ है, तो इसीलिए स्टेप लिया जा रहा है, इसीलिए बोला जा रहा है कि आप एक फैमिली के वो हैं, कम से कम इस चीज को आज उनको बोला जा रहा है, चाहे घंटों में हो, दिनों में हो, जब भी हो, डेफिनेटली ये वापस होगा और ये सब हमारी
ये बहुत देर नहीं हो गई? Hasn't the Rubicon been crossed already now? Isn't it too late? कि घर की बात करें, घर की बात तो अब रही नहीं, अब तो पूरे निजाम दिख रहा है, अब सरेआम हर चीज हो रहा है, खुला हुआ है हर चीज, ढका हुआ कहाँ रहा?
मायरा जी, मैं दोपहर से एक बात कह रहा था कि सुबह का भूला शाम को घर आ जाता तो वो भूला नहीं कहलाता, और वही हमारे मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट अरविंद सावंत जी ने अभी बोली है यही बात, तो बिल्कुल सही बात है कि जो सुबह का भूला अगर वापस शाम को घर आ जाता तो उसको भूला नहीं.
I'm not too sure if Clyde agrees with it, because if I look, if I were to watch, yes, Rashid, quickly, 30 seconds.
I'm saying उसे अजीत पवार कहते हैं.
Subhakash, yes, that's a good one actually.
You know what? Now, Maria, now can I come in?
Yes, Clyde, let me ask my questions. Clyde, my question is...
Just 10 seconds before your question is, because last time Rashid Bhai tried to needle me, and you know what happened. Today I'm not going to get needled, Rashid Bhai, so you can try.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay, so there'll be no needling at all. We have seen all that. Let the power plays happen outside, not on my show. Okay, Clyde, my question is, we saw what Sharad Pawar said, that MVA is intact. He will ensure that the government survives. That's a strong message and completely different from what we had seen in the last few days, where the Mahavikas Aghadi was also about each party trying to hold on to their numbers. So, Mr. Kamal Nath flies to, Bombay to ensure that the Congress flock is together. Mr. Pawar said कि जो मामला है वो शिवसेना का internal matter है. That is the message that had come. Now it is Mahavikas Aghadi which has emerged together. But the question, Clyde, 44 MLAs move cities, leave Bombay, go to Surat, leave Surat, go to Guwahati, and the government has no idea. Mr. Pawar has no idea. The Congress leadership doesn't know about it. The entire administration doesn't get a whiff. What kind of government are you running?
Well, you know what, Maria, it sounds like a very dramatic question that you're asking about the government doing about it. The fact of the matter that when they moved out, see, there was ill feeling, whatever they had, fair enough. When they moved out, we knew that they moved out. But who was moving them out? Who was giving them security? I mean, we know that the fact that, once they were crossing Maharashtra border, who was giving them security? Whose convoy was it? Who led them from Surat?
No, but when the convoy was moving, you did not know. Clyde, let's be clear, the government did not know.
No, 1 minute. Maria, can I finish now? So let's not interject with each other. The point here is there are some of them who stepped out, came back again. The fact is, I'm trying to say that, when the convoy was moving, the Maharashtra police should go and fight with the Gujarat police and, do this kind of thing. They moved. They moved. Now we have to move on from there, and that's what we are moving on. Now we are trying to figure out the fact is now what it comes down to is numbers. Is Mr. Eknath Shinde trying to pop up numbers and say if he has the numbers, I mean, it's too late in the night now. Let's give him a chance. Tell him to go tomorrow morning and parade those 37 MLAs or 40 MLAs or 50 that he's got, and go and let's go to the floor of the House in the Assembly and prove it. Why are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? If they have the numbers, they can go ahead and do it. And nobody can stop that. We are ready for it. I mean, there have been experts on your panel. We have, Swapnil is here, and people like Rashid Bhai is there. Everybody knows that, once that happens, you can't do anything. So go to the floor of the House. Why are you waiting for? We are ready for it.
Swapnil,
let's go.
If Eknath Shinde indeed has the numbers, then what is he really waiting for? Shouldn't he have paraded all his MLAs rather than, making those optics that all of them are standing up with their hands up, that yes, they are with Eknath Shinde? The real test will be on the floor of the House. The real test will be in governor's residence, where you have to parade your strength.
Right. Maria, what they must be doing the last minute possible check is that whether they have those 37 MLAs from the Shiv Sena, because you cannot count the independent heads. I told Zata also the same thing yesterday. You have to have those numbers very specifically, and they might be even providing for 2-3 more, just to ensure that should one or two suddenly have a change of mind, they still have that number of 37 as and when they approach the governor, which I'm sure they would within a couple of days. And they must be assessing all the legal implications of that, especially the Bombay High Court judgment, which the previous panelist from the Lok Sabha mentioned, that it's considered to be as a merger of the original Shiv Sena party. When 2/3 of the people go ahead and merge. So that is something which they would be having in them. Merge with the BJP. That would be considered if they join the hands with the BJP, because that is where then that's how they're going to prove their majority. There's going to be a faction of these 37 having joined the BJP. That will be considered as a merger with the BJP. So they must be assessing the legal implications of it, that should this be challenged in the court tomorrow, which I'm
what
sure...
does it do to Eknath Shinde's own claim, where he says that Shiv Sena's ideology has been diluted because of alliance with Congress and the NCP? He himself if he merges with the BJP, then there is no Shiv Sena.
Right. No, the Bombay High Court judgment, what it says is, Maria, that when you merge, that means merge in the sense that what it means is, as the panelists pointed out, that the Election Commission of India, what they would say is that there's possibly a merger between the two. I'm not sure what he meant is whether he meant that it gets absorbed by the BJP. I don't think so. That is what he implied. What it means is that possibly, and that seems to be a very erroneous interpretation according to me, because what happens is that today the Shiv Sena consists of 55 MLAs. If 40 people go out together, then that becomes the actual original Shiv Sena, which the Election Commission alone has the power to decide. Now, I see this going to the courts at some point, simply because the point is that the Eknath Shinde's camp will say that we are the Shiv Sena, and Uddhav Thackeray's camp will say that no, we are the original Shiv Sena. So there's going to be a debate between that. Now, as far as the floor test is concerned, now once the floor test is taking place, then these questions, these are preliminary questions, these questions then get thrown out of the door. So let me be very clear about it.
I have a question here before it gets thrown out of the door and the window.
Sure.
In what capacity will they be appearing for the floor test? Whose MLAs?
Right. So they will be considered as the total floor strength of the BJP, the total strength of the BJP, plus the people who have defected. The anti-defection law will not apply to them simply because they passed 2/3. Okay. So they will be considered as people who are with the BJP now, whether they call themselves as the original Shiv Sena or not, or whether they themselves consider as part of the BJP along with that.
Okay,
the floor test will then...
Okay, let me bring in Varun Singh. Varun Singh, what